Life used to be a constant battle with fatigue. I'd wake up tired, I'd slog through the day, then collapse into bed only to start the cycle all over again. But since about 2013, I started experimenting with probably dozens of different habits. I got a bit obsessed with personal development, I guess. Today, I'm sharing the 9 habits that have worked the best in giving me almost limitless energy and keeping me productive all day long. And stick around till the end where I'll reveal my emergency energy reboot for those particularly tough days. First up, embrace the morning sunlight. I used to wake up to the blaring sound of an alarm, reaching for my phone as my eyes adjusted to the screen's glare. It was a jarring, anxiety-inducing way to start the day, and honestly, it set a tone of stress that lingered. But then, I made a simple switch that transformed my mornings. Now, the first thing I do after waking up is step outside and bask in the morning sunlight. It's like nature's espresso, but without the jitters. Scientists are on board with this too. They tell us that morning sunlight doesn't just chase away the tiredness and grogginess, it actually syncs our internal body clock, which means better sleep at night and a more energized day. Plus, it's a mood booster. Think of it as a dose of natural happiness served sunny side up. I pair this sun-soaking time with a brief peaceful walk. It's not a marathon, just kind of a gentle stroll to get my body moving and my mind clear. It's my daily dose of serenity before the world wakes up. And speaking of waking up, let's dive into the world of caffeine, but consciously. I remember the days when my coffee cup was practically an extension of my hand. Morning, noon, and way too late into the afternoon, I was sipping on coffee. But here's the catch, it was playing tricks on my sleep and by extension, my energy. So caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours, so a 4 p.m. coffee is still in your system at 10 p.m. just when you're trying to wind down. But having your coffee too early can also throw a wrench in your energy levels. It interferes with a molecule called adenosine, which naturally helps us feel sleepy. So the golden rule I've adopted is I wait about 90 minutes after waking up before that first glorious sip of coffee. It's a game changer. I'm telling you, it's like getting in sync with the secret rhythm of your body. But interestingly, neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, he talks about it quite a lot. He says that 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine is just about enough before doing focused work. That's basically one coffee.
But most people do quite well to ingest 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine prior to doing some focused work. And again, I recommend delaying your caffeine intake 90 to 120 minutes after waking, unless you are using that caffeine to really jolt your system before a workout.
And while we're talking about rhythms and routines, let's move on to how your surroundings, your very environment, can be a secret weapon for boundless energy. We're of course talking about our work environment. Your desk is a stage, and every notification is like an unexpected actor barging in mid-scene. It's chaos and it's draining. I used to think I was a master multitasker. Spoiler alert, I wasn't. What I was actually doing was rapidly juggling tasks like a frantic circus performer. It's exhausting, and let's face it, a productivity killer. Research shows it takes about 20 minutes to refocus after a distraction, and that's a lot of lost time. So what's the magic trick? For me, it was banishing my phone from my workspace. You can see I don't have my phone here. It's like removing a mischievous gremlin that's constantly whispering, check me, from the room. Out of sight is truly out of mind. And if you're thinking, but my phone is my lifeline, trust me, I've been there. But the peace and focus that comes with this small change is like a breath of fresh air. It really is. So speaking of fresh air, one of the biggest kind of realizations this year in terms of my daily productivity has been that meetings most of the time get in the way of our productivity. I used to have about a dozen meetings a week, but now we've cut them down to just one management meeting and one team meeting a week. And now I'm far more productive, thanks in part to tools such as Tango, the sponsor of this video. Tango is a browser extension and desktop app that helps you create an instructional guide within seconds, so you can document any processes you click without ever taking another screenshot. I used it literally just today. I wanted to show an intern how to access my main YouTube folder on OneDrive where my videos are kept. No need for me to type out long lists of instructions. Although I shared the link with her, you can also embed it, export as a PDF, or whatever works for you. Also know how there's an orange box that automatically highlights where the user has to click, which makes things a lot easier in terms of not having to search around the screen wondering what to click. Then the guide also has AI generated titles that give instructions for each screenshot. The whole idea really is that it's super quick and easy to create a guide within just seconds. A nice feature also is that it auto blurs sensitive information, so no more awkward oversharing. I can now essentially create 10 how-to guides in the time that it used to take me to do just one. So you can check Tango out at tango.us, you can use it for free, and if you work remotely and you often have to send off instructions to someone else on the other side of the world, Tango can save you so much time. It's morning, and instead of fueling your body with something wholesome, you're reaching for a sugary cereal or a frosted pastry. I used to be a card-carrying member of the sugary breakfast club. Pop-Tarts were my jam, literally and figuratively, but here's the twist. That morning sugar rush can really crash your energy later on in the day. It's like a roller coaster that takes your energy on a wild, unsustainable ride. So scientists tell us that starting the day with a sugar bomb sets us up for a glucose spike and a subsequent crash. It's like setting a timer for your own energy implosion. So I switched lanes. Now my mornings are all about savory, balanced meals. Think avocado toast with a sprinkle of seeds or a hearty vegetable omelette. It's not about deprivation, it's more about starting the day focusing on managing your energy, and the result, a steady, reliable energy current that carries me through the day, not a kind of a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. But what about after meals? Is there a secret to avoiding the infamous food coma? So we've all been sat there, a full belly after a big meal, and suddenly you're sinking into the abyss of the afternoon slump. It used to be my daily ritual, it really did. I struggled a long time with this. Lunchtime would roll around, and after a great meal, I'd find myself fighting to keep my eyes open. It was like my lunch was a secret agenda to force me into an unplanned nap. But then I stumbled upon a simple yet powerful antidote, the post-meal stroll. It doesn't have to be a marathon, even a brisk 5-minute walk can work wonders. And science also backs this up, showing that a short walk after eating aids digestion and helps to stabilize blood sugar levels. It's kind of like pressing the reset button on your energy. Now, rain or shine, I lace up my shoes and I step outside after lunch. It's my secret weapon against the dreaded food coma, and it's become a non-negotiable part of my day. But what about when the workday ends? How do we keep our workspace optimized for productive work? So you can see it now, a desk drowning in papers, tangled cords, and yesterday's coffee cup still sitting there, judging you. I used to think a cluttered desk was a sign of a busy, productive life, but let me tell you, it was more like a busy, stressful life. My workspace was a mirror of my mental state, cluttered and chaotic. So now I make it a ritual. Every week I take 10 minutes to clear my workspace. So you can see now my workspace is pretty clean, pretty tidy, and it looks like this most of the week. It's about creating a space that tells my brain it's time to focus, and the result, a workspace that breathes, a mind that's clear, and a day that starts not with stress, but with purpose. But what about conquering your energy levels? We all have those mornings when getting out of bed feels like the ultimate test. That was me nearly every day until I discovered the magic of music. Now, my mornings have a new beat, literally. So I created a playlist, I call it my Rise and Shine mix. It's filled with songs that are energetic, uplifting, and just plain joyful. And the moment my alarm rings, I hit the playlist on my phone. And science backs this up. Music, especially upbeat tunes, can significantly boost our mood and energy levels. It's like a shot of espresso for the soul without the jitters. But what about keeping that energy flowing all day long? So we sat there, I'm glued to my desk, eyes straining, back aching, a ticking clock, but the work isn't flowing. That relentless grind that we think is productive, but there's a catch. It's a trap, a productivity pitfall. Now my days are different. I take a lot of breaks. I started integrating intentional breaks into my workday, and it was kind of like by taking more intentional breaks, I was more focused, more creative, and just more energized in general. I'm not talking about long vacations, it's just stepping away from my desk for a few minutes, a walk around the block, a quick stretch, a moment of meditation. Science is on my side here again. Studies show that regular short breaks can significantly boost our productivity and mental clarity. They're like little recharges for our brain, mini vacations in the midst of a busy day. So if you're feeling like a drained battery by midday, this might help you out quite a lot. And something else that is super overlooked, but also can be incredibly helpful for energy levels throughout the day, is hydration. I used to reach for another coffee when that afternoon slump hit, but now it's a tall glass of water. I bought this water bottle about a year ago, and it genuinely rarely leaves my side when I leave the house and I go to work. Every single time I go to a coffee shop, I still bring my water with me. Science backs this up big time. Even mild dehydration can lead to significant drops in energy. Our brains are mostly water after all. When we're low on H2O, everything slows down. So I made it a ritual. Morning start with water, not just coffee, because at the end of the day, when you're sleeping, you're dehydrating for that 7-8 hours. So it makes sense when you wake up, you hydrate yourself as soon as you wake up. It's a simple shift, but the effects can be monumental. I'm a lot sharper, a lot brighter during the day, and just have more energy overall. So if you're seeking that limitless energy, don't underestimate the magic of hydration. And if you're struggling to wake up in the morning, I made another video called How David Goggins Wakes Up at 4 a.m. every morning. You can click on the card on the screen to watch that, and do check out this video's sponsor Tango, link in the description below.